somewhat mortified that this whole thing has just exploded.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we'll be looking at times when the famous chef had his staple toxic behaviour thrown right back at him.
On a scale of 10, how bad are you?
Pretty bad, I'd say a 2.
Okay, that's got me more nervous.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Gordon wets himself. In Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon visited the Italian restaurant Mamma Maria's. Ramsay considered it to be a poorly managed business, with poor cleaning, mouldy food, and a terrible smell. The TV chef went on to berate the staff, getting his traditional level of heated.
Congratulations on that one. That's a big breakthrough with you.
After ending his tirade, he goes on to locate the source of the rancid smell. What he finds is an overwatered plant pot full of stale water.
What's that smell in here?
Chef Ramsay decides to carry the pot and is embarrassingly drenched in the disgusting stale water. The business owner, who just received a massive telling off, is naturally relieved and says it felt like karmic justice.
It's a little bit of a payback because he just finished tearing me apart. I thought that was a little bit of karma.
Number 9. Crab cake.
This is Shane. I've got 15 minutes to teach him how to make the most amazing crab cake without actually showing him anything.
Back to Back Chef was a cooking segment created by Bon Appetit, which pairs a master chef with an amateur and has them cook back to back, and the master chef is tasked with teaching the other how to cook a specific recipe. Ramsay was featured in this series and was tasked with teaching an amateur chef, Shane, how to cook crab cakes.
Pinch the end here.
They're kind of pinching me.
They're pinching you. Shane, the crab is dead.
Ramsay does a masterful job at cooking a delicious-looking crab cake. His student Shane, on the other hand, did abysmally, making an absolute mess that had little resemblance to a crab cake. Ramsay said it looked like a dog's dinner, but doesn't seem to admit that his poor teaching was to blame.
Shane,
Sorry, Gordon.
you are bad.
Number 8. Bad restaurant reviews.
Gordon Ramsay, you know that name, right? Famous chef. He's launching a new restaurant at the Grove. And who better to send there than Mar Yvette for a little preview?
We all know Chef Ramsay to be an exceptionally harsh critic, which makes us believe his restaurants would be held to the high standard he expects from businesses on his programs. This isn't the case, with multiple reviewers being seriously unimpressed by Ramsay's restaurants. One of these was Besha Rodell, who reviewed Ramsay's LA restaurant Fat Cow in 2012 and went as far as saying her meal looked lifeless and malignant.
It's never too early, right, Gordon?
No. Shall I tell Steve you've already had 2 already?
This happened again in 2019 when reviewer Angela Hoy wrote a review for his vibrant Asian eating house Lucky Cat in London. Hoy said this restaurant was a real-life kitchen nightmare. Ouch. These reviews aren't what we expect from one of the most famous chefs worldwide.
Let me tell you, there's no nightmare, there's no Stuart Little.
Number 7. Making Australia hate him.
On the weekend, celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay caused outrage for his sexist and offensive tirade against a Current Affairs East Coast presenter and highly respected journalist Tracy Grimshaw.
One of the chef's biggest controversies was in 2012, when in an exhibition he called Tracy Grimshaw, a popular Australian journalist, an ugly old pig. Not only this, but he displayed an image of a woman edited to have a pig's face and claimed it was Grimshaw.
It's like your little sister on your lips.
What?
I'm glad I kissed the cheek. What is that thing?
Grimshaw was naturally outraged and responded by roasting him back live on TV. Not only this, but the rest of Australia was offended, and the Prime Minister even chimed in, calling him a new form of lowlife. The Deputy Prime Minister also went on to say he should confine himself to the kitchen. He initially denied the comments, but thankfully came out and apologised later on. But by then, he'd already majorly humiliated himself.
It was stupid and it was very careless, but it was not there to hurt in any way.
But it did.
Number 6. Italians roast his carbonara.
This pasta is making me vomit.
In 2020, Ramsay tweeted a video of one of his chefs serving up carbonara for Union Street Cafe. He described it as the most amazing carbonara. However, Those of Italian descent were seriously disgusted by the food he posted.
In Italy, they do it with the guanciale, the cheek, and there's no cream and there's a touch of egg and garlic, but hey...
Excuse me?
The carbonara was horrendously yellow and wet, which looked completely unappealing. Italian Twitter users flooded to express their shock, saying it looked nothing at all like a carbonara. Replies were hilarious. Some iconic tweets were, "What's this thing? I can't believe this guy is actually a chef. That's egg soup." And, "When did cooking dog sick become a thing? Hope his own medicine tastes better than the carbonara."
You abused so many people. You made us enjoy yourself abusing people, and now I'm abusing you to take a revenge.
Number 5. 2-star hygiene rating.
Oh my god.
Kitchen Nightmares has regular segments of Ramsay completely decimating business owners for poor hygiene and bug infestations. So naturally, we'd all expect him to avoid infestations in his restaurants, right? Well, in 2015, his restaurant Maze was found to be infested with cockroaches. Health inspectors spotted at least 7 bugs in the London restaurant's kitchen and went on to give the place a shockingly low 2-star rating.
Do they seriously put food on those plates?
That's not the only time Ramsay's hypocrisy has shined. In 2009, his gastropub, the Maida Vale, was discovered to have multiple mouse droppings in the kitchen. That's not a good look for a man famous for insulting other restaurants' failures.
How can I start even attempting to cook when the place is festered with cockroaches?
Number 4. Hand-pulled noodles. In his 2000s TV show, Cook Along Live, Ramsay visited a popular Chinese restaurant in London during a segment.
What's the secret of pulling a good noodle? Does it have a certain taste?
A hand-pulled noodle has got more elasticity. When you eat it, you can taste the difference.
Hand-pulled noodles are a traditional dish in Chinese cuisine. However, they are notoriously difficult to create. The TV chef decided to try his hand at this ancient technique, but as it turned out, he was terrible at it. He quickly lost his temper after multiple failed attempts to handcraft his own noodles. The other chefs were also getting a bit riled up, saying his noodles were a disaster.
No, it's a disaster. No good.
By the end, he was so mad he kept throwing the noodles at the glass window, an embarrassing performance from the self-proclaimed best chef in the world.
Go back home and practice more.
Go back home and practice more. Thank you for the encouragement.
Number 3. Turkish chef failed to recognise him.
Who is it? Gordon Ramsay.
In another Cook Along Live clip, Ramsay decided to instead learn Turkish cuisine at a restaurant called Kazan. Much to his dismay, on entering the kitchen, the head chef had no idea who he was. Before the introduction, the restaurant manager said, "It's putting fire with fire," and there could be a big explosion in there, or they'll get on great. The former was a more accurate description of how it went down, as Ramsay made a complete fool of himself.
What's inside what is can't make it correctly?
Dolma, a traditional Turkish food, was far beyond his culinary skills. After struggling with this and other food, the head chef asked him to leave and got a better chef to do the job.
Can you leave it? The gentleman's make is better, yeah? Can you start please, quickly?
Number 2. Rookie in an Indian kitchen.
My 3 hours practice earlier was a disaster.
Oh shit.
Now there are 150 booked for dinner and I can't let the team down.
This isn't the end for the embarrassing failures Ramsay endured on Cook Along Live. Similarly, he visited an Indian restaurant in London to learn the secrets of their cuisine. His display was pathetic and he failed almost every step of the way. First off, he was too scared to use their oven, with the other chefs having to step in to aid him. Secondly, he couldn't even make naan bread and dropped it completely in the oven that he was so freaked out about using. And finally, he couldn't assemble a tandoori kebab as the meat kept falling off the stick.
A big order for naan bread gives me a chance to prove myself.
Naturally, the boss became upset at his wasteful and slow cooking.
The guest has been waiting 15 minutes. Yes, come on, hurry up.
Number 1. Gordon's failure of a pad thai.
But what will Chan think of my quick and easy version of this classic?
Now for our final entry, coming from a 2009 episode of his show, The F Word. The episode's theme was Thai food, and he decided to visit a Thai temple to cook for a handful of Buddhist monks. Instead of following the Thai chef's instructions on how to make pad thai, he decided to use his own recipe. Unfortunately for Gordon, the chef, and the Buddhist monks, the end result was disastrous. Upon tasting the dish, the chef asks, "What do you want to know from me?" and then goes on to say, "This is not pad thai at all."
What do you want to know from me?
In hindsight, I don't think the chef could have given him an even more scathing response.
This is not pad thai at all.
Were there any other times Ramsay got put in his place that we failed to include? Let us know in the comments below.
You are a walking disaster.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojoUK and subscribe for more great content.